Well, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to flip this room and talk about library resources. My name is Sarah Hammill, and as you already heard, I'm the distance learning librarian. I see a lot of faces that I know already and some new faces, so there is new content this year, so stick around. And I want to introduce you to Melissa. She's brand new.
Hi, I'm Melissa Del Castillo. I'm the new virtual learning and outreach librarian. So I'm Sarah's cohort. We're going to talk to you a little bit about some library resources for you, the faculty, and also some things that we'll provide for you that you can provide for your students. So we'll start off with our faculty resources.
And the first one is faculty services. And we'll go to that page. Some of you may have been to this page already, but basically what we did, we said, okay, these are the resources that faculty members will need to work with, to use in their course, either face-to-face or online. So the first thing we're going to talk about with faculty services, there's a link on the library homepage for resources for faculty. And on that page, you're going to find a number of resources you're probably familiar with, like course reserves. You can find out who your subject specialist is, and many more. Well, one of the services we wanted to talk about a little bit was interlibrary loan. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. But we do have a relatively new service called uBorrow. So if you search for a book, an item in the catalog, so you know you want this book, and you find that the FIU libraries does not have it, you'll see a link to, hi Uma. Uma, we're going to be talking about you later. You're going to miss your name up here. Okay. So uBorrow, and then in the catalog, you can click on the uBorrow, and what that service is a service between college and universities in the state of Florida. You can make your request right in the library catalog, and then we go out and find it for you and have it delivered to your campus of choice. So that's uBorrow, but then the other services we're going to point out to you is if you are searching for materials and you're finding books that you want to use for your research, we have a hold service. It works the same. You fill out the same form as interlibrary loan. You request it, and then it's put on a hold on a shelf for you, and you're contacted by email to pick up your books. And that's something that's not well publicized, and we just want to make you aware of. So if you don't want to browse the shelves, you can request all the items that you want through our interlibrary loan service, and they'll be pulled from the shelf for you.
So I know a lot of students and faculty members use Google Scholar to find articles. A lot of times it might be easier to search within Google Scholar than it is to search some of the databases. So I'm going to show you how to link your Google Scholar account to the Find It at FIU. So any available articles that we have in our databases, you'll have access to them. And you won't have to pay the $35 that Sage is offering for the article. Okay, so we'll make it quick. Go to the scholar.google.com and click on Settings. And then we're going to click on Library Links. And then we're already connected right now, but if you started to type in Florida International University, you would see these options would come up and you would click all of them. And then once you click Save, you're now linked to the FIU libraries. So we can go ahead and do a search for creating MOOCs. Hot topic. And now you notice that there's a Find It at FIU button. So anytime you see the Find It at FIU, whether you're in our catalog or on one of our databases and it doesn't readily attach you to the PDF, that Find It at FIU is what connects your article to what we have in the databases. So let's go to the professors who make the MOOCs, and we're going to click Find It at FIU. So if you're in any of the databases, this will be the same page that you get when you do a search. You click on the Get Article. We have many choices. So my favorite is Academic Search Complete. It's up to you what interface you like. If you were home, you would have to log in off-campus access, but since we're here on campus, here's our article. So we have access to it from right here, the HTML. So it's that easy to connect Google Scholar to the Find It at FIU. So when you're searching on the internet, you'll be able to have those articles. You won't run into the issue where the article is missing, and then you'll have to go all the way back into the databases and look for it. It's just a simple connecting.
And now the next tool we're going to talk about is citation analysis and journal ranking. If you're a professor and you're going up for tenure or going up for promotion, You may have to know the ranking of the journals that you're publishing in, or you want to see who's been citing your articles, or you have that pivotal article in your research, you want to know who's been citing that. So what we did, we created a page, citation analysis and journal rankings, because we do get that question from faculty a lot going up for promotion. And you may want to know the impact factor of a journal. So the tabs, this kind of explains what everything is, but if you want to know your citation analysis, you want to know who's citing your articles, you can click on citation analysis. And this kind of explains what it is, but if you scroll down this page, you'll see a number of tools to use. The number one tool in citation analysis is the ISS Web of Science, and then we list some others below that. And as we find more, we're listing them. But for now, we're just going to go into ISI Web of Science, and we're going to show you quickly how it works. And so you get to this page, and under Basic Search, a drop-down, you're going to click it to Cited Reference Search. And Uma's going to miss her name in print. We're going to do Uma, Swami. Asterisk. And I did verify this was her before we did it. So you can see here, the second article in Physiology Behavior has been cited 24 times. So if you want to know who's citing your articles, you can go in here and look. This is the best tool out there, but it's not comprehensive. So that's why we list other tools on that page with other places to look for cited references. We go back to citation analysis, and then we click on the tab next to it. If you're looking for the impact factor of a journal, which is the average number of citations for a recent article in the publication, these are some tools that you can find the impact factor information. Again, it's ISS Web of Knowledge is the number one source, but we also list others because it's not exhaustive. And there's different ways you can search this. For today, we're just going to go into Social Sciences Edition and search for a specific journal, or you can browse the journal. So maybe you're thinking, where can I publish this article that I've done this research on? You can look and see the impact factor and make your decision maybe based on that. We're going to use one from our field, Journal of Academic Librarianship, which is one of our pivotal journals. And then, so what it tells us, it gives the abbreviated journal title and our total sites, impact factor. The higher the impact factor, the higher ranking of the journal. This should be one of your many resources that you examine, of course, when you're thinking about where to publish and when you're putting a 10-year promotion together. It's got the 5-year impact, cited half-life. It looks over a period of time of the publications in there and how they're cited. So this was really created specifically for faculty who are interested or need to go up for promotion, and they're being asked, how is this journal ranked? So this is also the URL will be on your LibGuide or on your handout. Any questions on that? Okay, so I guess we'll go on to the next one. Next one, scholarly communication and open access. Has anyone published in an open access journal? Anyone considering it? All right. So we got something just for you. And if you're interested in learning more about open access, again, we put together, actually our colleague has put this guide together on scholarly communication and open access. As you know, the cost of publications of journals, we pay millions of dollars in the library. There's a move towards open access journals. And then so this is a page kind of talking about what is open access and so on and so forth. But one thing we've done for faculty is we've come up with some funding for faculty to publish in open access journals. So you might be thinking, well, open access should mean it's free. However, there's oftentimes processing fees for open access journals. For example, five papers, which is a philosophy open access index of information. It used to be freely available online, but now that it's grown so large, they have moved to a per pay model. And the philosophy department contacted us and said, you know, we would like to access this. It's $1,200 a year. It's still open access. Everybody can access it, but they need to keep the information current, keep it updated, keep it alive. So they're charging $1,200 a year. So some open access publications will have a fee to them for the processing. And what we did here, we have an open access publishing process where you can apply to get funding for your publications that you're going to publish in open access. Last fiscal year, we had 22 faculty member apply, and they received funding of nearly $6,000. So far this year, we're not even halfway over, we've had 41 authors and have given out over $10,000. So, and the amount that the publications are asking for, they range from $20 to $3,000. Each FIU faculty member can get up to $3,000 a year. So, and this is the application process, tells you more about it. But we're trying to encourage you to publish in open access journals, and also, give you ideas and put together resources for you can see, is this publication a good one? But you'll feel better than us, but if you need us to help you evaluate whether this is a sound journal or not, we'd be happy to help you. Any questions on open access? Yes. I don't know. There's Mike.
Does it takes to get the approval for the funding to decide whether we want to go and publish in an open access?
I think the turnaround is really quick. This is our colleague that is really the initiative behind this. But I think if you apply, they check it weekly for the applications, and then they evaluate it, and the turnaround is quite quick.
Application is before submitting or once we have the paper approved? But
you can submit it. You can apply before submitting, and then once it's approved, you'll get the funding here. Other questions? All right, moving right along. Okay, so I'm still on. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about library guides. We've already shown you 2 guides, though. The 2 guides that we have shown you are more geared towards faculty for your research to help you. We can also create guides specific for your course or for your students that they can be targeted towards a research assignment. They can be targeted towards the overall resource that you want to include in your course. You tell us. Melissa and I can work with you. We're happy to assist you and your students in any way we can. So we're going to show you a couple different ones. Over here, we're going to go over to biology to show you. I know, Uma's on stage. She's missing all this action. It's all about biology. We're going to go into the general biology lab guide. Uma was talking about her classes in chemistry. Biology lab, they're huge classes. She was talking 160 students. I think the bio labs are like 300 students. And they have to write a lab report. 2,000? Woo, Dios mío. Okay, so they all, and one of the requirements for the lab is that they have to write a report, and they have to use peer-reviewed scholarly articles. So Patricia Piera Pujol is our science librarian, and what she did, she pulled together all the resources to make them finding the information for their lab report in one place for them. And one thing, she's put the databases that are useful, as well as how to search the databases. And if we scroll down, she also has the suggested keywords and subjects, which, oftentimes we find our students have a really difficult time coming up with what words can I use to find this information. They have a hard time with their search string and their search strategy. So this is useful for them. So we can do something as simple as this. It just kind of lays out the information and gives them what they need. Or we can do something a little more complex. We go down to psychology, into psych info, or into psychology of women. This is a guy, I've been working with Dionne Stevens for, I don't know, probably 7, 8 years. And she teaches online. She's got all of her courses are Quality Matters courses. And she's won a lot of awards for her classes, for her online teaching and her classes. One of the things she's always noticed is that she requires them to write a peer-reviewed, use peer-reviewed articles to talk about a movie that they watch. And one of the things she always has mentioned is that the students have a difficult time finding those peer-reviewed articles. They don't realize that Wikipedia is not a scholarly source. So what we've done here is taken the information from her and put together a guide to teach them about scholarly versus popular sources. And we have a visual here and a video that they can watch. But also, I'm fully embedded in her online class. So each week I sit in the Adobe Connect room and students come in with their peer-reviewed or their research questions and ask them there. I send out weekly emails to the students and say, I'm here. If you can't come to the Adobe Connect room, email me or go to this guide, see this video if you don't know what peer-reviewed means. So we've tried to all these different ways to reach these students for they understand the peer review process and define the articles. We go back to the home page. And here's a video. Actually, Melissa's going to talk more about some of the videos we've done. This is specific to searching PsycInfo and that same thing. How to put your search string together, how to make your search strategy, because that's where they're having difficulty. So we can do something as simple as the bio. We can do something more complex in the psych and psychology. Let us know. We are online learning. We are here to help you. Let us know what you need and how we can make it easy for your students to learn. Because we could say, go to the library homepage, find this database. Then they're just spending all their time trying to find the place, pulling their hair out, frustrated. They're going to Wikipedia, right? They might not be telling you. But if we put together a guide specific for what they need, then at least they're using the scholarly resources and using them and hopefully using the critical thinking to really understand the information. Go ahead, Shane.
Do you have a LibGuide for students about assessing the quality of a Wikipedia article?
Oh, no, but that's a great idea.
And about understanding the Wikipedia authorship and revision process, how they can submit revisions to Wikipedia and such.
No.
Because that's something that I encourage students to understand, especially as they move towards the seminar level. I have not done it, but I would consider offering extra credit for a student who was able to bring a Wikipedia article up to the highest level of Wikipedia review. You know, a good article rank on Wikipedia is actually difficult to achieve and would be a substantial achievement for an undergraduate.
But that is a fabulous idea. Because what I do say, you know, if you're going to use Wikipedia, look if you don't know what keywords to use, what are they using in Wikipedia? But that's a fabulous. Maybe we could collaborate on something like that.
I've read about online learning, and there is a group work assignment that you could create where, and it is done a lot in history, where your class gets into groups and they each create Wikipedia articles. So that's an idea if you wanted to give out some group work for your online students, is to be able to have them create or make more robust, more true, more up-to-date, more accurate.
I'm generally aware of those. I helped start Wiki Project Women's History, which is specifically working to improve coverage of women's history on Wikipedia. So, but I wondered if you offered any specific support for faculty who are doing these kinds of information literacy assignments with Wikipedia.
Not yet, but we're going to now. But yeah, I mean, ideas like that are great because, you know, we think, well, we're doing what we know, but I mean, we kind of, sometimes you get stuck in your box and think, oh, never thought of that, but that's a great idea. Oh, it looks like it's locked up again. Okay. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about is resources for teaching online. Basically, this was requested by some faculty members that we put together some resources for teaching and learning online, some tools, like what resources do we have in the library to improve your teaching online and maybe help your students learn better online. And then we'll get there. And this is also a LibGuide as well. And we just pulled resources, and we want your feedback. We want to know what we should add, what should be taken away. Hopefully nothing taken away. But like Jen, who has left the room, had sent an email to some of the digital instructors, including me on it, and she said, you know, these are some resources that you should consider. And they were all on this guide, and so I thought this would be a friendly reminder that this is a great guide for you. And it can be enhanced. Let us know what to add and take away. If we scroll down a little bit, there we are. And then actually the quick tip guide is the handout in your brochures. So if you lose the handout, you can come here and you can get to the quick tip guide, everything we're going to talk about today. If we scroll back up, we just actually, last session, we just added the tab to e-textbooks. We do have a number of, we're putting together resources on e-textbooks that are freely, most of them are open access, freely available out there. So if you're looking for alternatives to Pearson or some of the textbooks the questions that you had, we have some of the alternatives here. We put them here, and this is growing. And actually, we are working with a number of partners within the university to see if we can maybe have some kind of open access textbook fund for faculty members who are interested in creating an open access textbook. That's to be continued. Once that's up and running, we would definitely reach out to you and let you know. Maybe you're interested in creating something open access. Okay. So that's recent, yeah. And then the tabs across teaching and learning online. So those are going to be books and the top journals in the field. Student engagement, how to engage your students in an online environment, assessing in an online environment. So these are just resources we pulled together that may be useful for you if you want to learn new techniques to help you learn, help your students learn. And then I think I'm turning it over to Melissa.
This is another LibGuide that we created, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Browsine. Have any of you here used Browsine yet? Okay, so Browsine is an app that FIU has paid for. I'm going to show it to you on my iPad. You could be my Vanna White. I'll be Pat Sajak. So Browsine, you can go to the app. You would just type in, do a search for Browsine. It's also on your handouts. It gives you access to the journals that are subscribed to by the libraries. You will have to log in with your username password that you use when you log into your email, and you'll get a verification email that you have to click on. And then once you do that, you'll have access either by subject or by a title search to titles of journal articles in your field. So I have, I think, 3 bookshelves full of articles, full of journals. So I have like an art, which is my personal love. I have some education. I have some library, journals that I've picked out that I like. You can also create an archive of saved articles. So here are the articles that I want to read. If I had all the time in the world and no kids, I would love to read all of these. So they're here, and I can read them at my leisure. And if I'm in the doctor's office, I have them with me. Once I've saved them here, I'll be able to access them. The other thing that it does that's really cool is if I go into my settings, I can create an alert. So whenever a new journal on my journal list is published, I'll get an alert so that I know that I could go in and check the new articles in that journal. So I don't have to keep going and checking to see when the new edition is out of any of these journals. I automatically get an alert when any of the journals I have saved have their new edition out. So that's one of the apps that we recommend. Here is the LibGuide, which is on your handout, and it's going to have some more of our apps. So this one is Browsine here. Any of the ones with the lock means that those are something that is purchased, so you'll probably have to log in with your username password. Any of the ones that don't have anything next to them, they're just a free app that we recommend. So Browsine is there. The other one that I'm going to mention is Mango Languages. I know we had someone on one of the surveys say that they were interested in language learning resources. Mango Languages is actually quite pricey, but you get it free from FIU. I downloaded a couple. There are serious languages, like if you wanted to learn Latin or Greek, but there's also Okay, so here's my Mango Languages. I'm learning French language for a love affair, German Oktoberfest so I can know how to order a beer in German, and Spanish for librarians. There's also things like medical Spanish in there, and then it's very similar to Rosetta Stone where you have videos, you have text that you can read, and there's also a conversation element to it. So you could speak in a conversation and it will grade your vocabulary and your diction. So it's actually pretty interesting, and that's free. So all you have to do is log in just like with Browsine and create an account, and you can access that and maybe learn a third, fourth, second language.
First.
First, in my case.
Just a little side note on the browsing. We are working on a digital badge system for browsing. So people who complete, so students, and actually we're going to open it up to everybody who complete a chapter in Mango languages, and we can find out how long they've spent on it, and if they've completed the chapter, we'll get a digital badge. So that's
Yeah.
so that's something that's going to be coming out probably in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be reaching out to those departments that have like study abroad programs or the study abroad office or international programs. So we'll be reaching out to you to kind of help us get exposure for this digital badge program with Mango languages.
The other resource I wanted to point out was RefWorks. How many here have used RefWorks before? Now it's a pretty common, this is the mobile site, but we're going to go to the regular site just to show you a couple of its function. This is also something that we have purchased. And I know that we had spoken about, do you have access to things after you've graduated? And as of right now, students do have access to their RefWorks account until they've deemed that they may want them to go to a personal subscription. So as of right now, I know that we have individuals in the library that work there that had went to FIU and they still had their account even when they weren't at FIU anymore. So as long as we have access to RefWorks, all of your articles are saved here.
Nobody's leaving FIU, so we don't have to worry.
But for the students. So some of the great things about RefWorks, one is that you can create shared folders. So if you have a team or a group that's working on a research project together, they can have a folder where they are all adding articles to this folder and they can all read those articles. So it's much easier than saving a PDF and sending it out. There's a shared folder, they all put their articles in there and they can all read them and add to them. And then you'll notice it has the Find It at FIU, which will, if we clicked on that, it would link to that article in our database. So instead of having a thumb drive full of PDFs, it has that permanent URL that'll let you link it to our FIU databases and you don't have to worry about saving the PDF. And the most awesome thing about RefWorks is that it will create bibliographies. For any students who are having issues with APA formatting, it will create, oh, let's do, yeah, there, it has, I think, how many thousands worth of styles in there?
Oh, these are just the ones that I use on a regular basis, but you can see there's many more.
And then they can also create annotated bibliographies on here also. So let's do we clicked a couple of our saved articles, and you can save them by topic, and we generated a bibliography. So they would just need to copy paste this right into their paper. Of course, it is a machine generated citation, so it does need to be double checked by human eyes, not just computer eyes. Yes.
One of the things I tend to like to do is assign a bunch of different articles. One of the goals of one of my upper level courses is for students to learn to make sense out of article length work in my field. If I want to go ahead and create a RefWorks bibliography as a way for students to be able to easily find all of the articles I'm doing, is the best thing for me to be doing just to do that on my individual account and then create a group for all my students, or make a public bibliography? What do you recommend in that case?
I can tell you what I did with the sociology class. They created a separate account. It wasn't connected to the faculty members. It's just was SYA 3000, for example. They created an account and they all had the username and password, and they all input the data themselves. So that was a group project where everybody had to find information on certain topics and put them in the RefWorks, and then they talked about them in class. So that's one way you can do it. But I think you can create multiple accounts. Like I have more than one account under with different usernames and passwords.
Yeah, I have a work group and we were collecting articles and we had created a generic account and we were putting them in there, and then we realized it wasn't linked to our personal account, so we kind of switched gears because it was a lot easier to have them all in one place. So it's really up to however the group wants to work it out. But you can create as many accounts as you want with the RefWorks. So you can have a class account if you wanted to. So that's RefWorks. And if you have any questions or you wanted us to come into your class, we do come into, I think when we were pre-internet. So if you needed any help, like if you wanted your class to learn RefWorks, we'd be happy to come into an Adobe Connect session and teach them how to use RefWorks. Another thing that we've pulled together is this streaming media LibGuide. I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the streaming media that's available through the library that you can embed into your courses. So here are our main accounts, and it's the same designation. Anything with a lock is something that we subscribe to, and there are some specialized resources that are free resources that we've included in here because they're great resources, like that Florida Voices. The little film strip denotes that they're films, and then the music is obviously music. So let's go ahead and click on that first one, the Academic Video Online, and this is Alexander Street Press. And you can search this one by discipline, by collection, by title. So let's go ahead and find a video. Let's do American history. Your choice. Oh, Kissinger. Yay, he's so exciting. Well, maybe. Okay, so here is the video, and along the bottom you'll see all the different options. If you wanted to embed the link, we can go ahead and click on that, and it'll just give you the embed code to be able to embed it into your course. Also, you can share it, email, create a citation. There will be a transcript on the side. All the databases for the streaming are pretty similar. They just may have different configurations, but they all should have these. You can ask a Blackboard question and video. I'm prepared. Go ahead.
There's an embed link. Easy question. Do they have to connect from home in order to watch the embedded video? Like they'd have to open another browser tab, log into library.fiu.edu, and then go back to the Blackboard course and click on the embedded link?
The embed link has the login, so when they click on it, it should take them to the Connect from Off Campus. They connect from off campus and then go right back directly to
the video.
Yeah, we had some issues, and I know that a lot of the streaming publishers are trying to fix some of it's a Blackboard streaming media. I guess they're not linking up, or they're adding extra code to them or something.
That's what we're finding. Blackboard adds or takes away code from streaming stuff. So FIU Online is well aware of it, and we're troubleshooting as we go. But yeah.
So here's the transcripts, and the great thing about the transcripts is you can click anywhere in the transcripts, and it will actually fast forward the video to that exact spot. So you're not looking all over for the clip that you need. So if you log in and you create an account, the other option that you can do is you can use these scissors and you can create your own clips. Maybe you don't want them to watch a 40-minute video on Kissinger, that you just want that 5-minute clip. So you can create your own clip once you create an account, and then that way you're only pushing out that information that you need instead of the whole entire video, because you know they'll probably zone out by minute 10 anyways. So having that shorter video is probably better. But you do have to create an account to do that. And then you can also do things like create a playlist. So if there are videos that you're always using, you can save them once you've created an account and reuse them over and over again and not have to search for them each and every time. Anybody have any questions about streaming? So another type of video that you can embed into your course are library tutorials. So we have created about 18 videos in Vimeo available to you to embed into your courses. So if you wanted to embed a video on how to search the library catalog, how to do interlibrary loan, how to search a database, we have a bunch of those created here. And then let's click on one, and I'll show you the way to and how you find the embed link. It's going to look like a little paper airplane. So if you wanted to embed a library skills video tutorial in your course, you could just use that embed link.
No connect from off campus for this.
Yes, this is free on the web. So this library tutorials, we do have very general ones. We have a couple of specific. We showed you the psych info one earlier, and we also have one on ERIC. But if there was a database that your students were using, or there is a library skill, or maybe something, we also have a RefWorks one that you could embed into your course if you wanted them to use RefWorks. But if there's something else that they're having difficulties with, we can create a video for you. We can do a screencast with captions, and we can have a video available on this site for whatever it is that you're interested in having your students learn. So that's something we're really open to, is creating a good sized bank of all the library skills, so that if you don't have time, if your students don't have time, you can embed that link for, you can embed that video and they can have access to library instruction. Okay, so DDA. Has anyone ever heard of DDA or PDA? So this is something new for the library. This is one of our pilot programs. DDA stands for Demand-Driven Acquisition. It's also called PDA, which is Patron-Driven Acquisition. And we're pushing out this program for our ebooks. So here's our catalog. And we're going to search for, I'm going to do MOOCs again, MOOCs, and see what ebooks we have available. For a lot of our STEM resources, we do purchase ebooks for those, and also it's great for our online students. Then they don't have to worry about coming in and finding a book. They'll have it accessed on the internet. So here we have this first one, which is MOOCs. Whenever they get here, they have to click on View Content here to be able to see the actual ebook. So what our DDA program is, instead of buying a ton of ebooks and not knowing whether they're going to be used or not, we have records in our catalog of ebooks, and they don't get purchased until someone downloads them. So we're not purchasing ebooks, unless they're being used. Each of the publishing companies have different triggers. Some of them, if you print 10 pages, or you read a chapter, or you download it, it will signal to our collections development department to purchase that book. So if we were to click on this and download it, and if this was a DDA title, the user would not know. But it would signal, once we did that, to purchase the book, and it would be made available. Instant. So once you click on it, you have access, and then it's purchased. But you would never know as the user. It's a good way for us to be able to offer a large amount of titles and not have to spend as much money. I mean, the thing about collection development, it's all a guessing game. Is this going to be used? Is this going to be useful? And this is a way for us to be able to offer all those titles in all these different disciplines and to really know that they're going to be useful.
Questions on DDA?
I know that we're going to be, this is probably going to be the way that we're going to be pushing out most of our ebooks, because it is a lot easier for us. I know we've added a lot of science titles, and we're moving on to JSTOR. We're going to be purchasing some DDA titles from them also.
How can I find out if an existing title that I know is available in print is available as a DDA ebook? If I'm planning on it, for example, if I'd like to, for example, assign it for a course.
Okay, so what I would do, if I would go onto our faculty page and just request that book.
Okay.
And you could request it as an ebook.
Okay.
That's on the faculty services page. I don't think we got to show it because we didn't have internet. Have you been to that page to be able to? There's an option to be able to
request.
Yeah, because if you know your students are going to use it, then let's have it for them.
Okay. And do you have a policy of acquiring ebooks even if there is a physical copy already?
Well, if it's going to be for online students, then we would purchase it for our online students.
The faculty page is right here. And you can, under forms and requests, there's a link to faculty libraries materials request.
So if there's a book an ebook, for your online students that you think would be valuable, you can go ahead and fill this out and we would purchase that book for you.
And Shane, just make a note in there, say I would like the ebook copy of it. That way, because sometimes maybe the ebook's not out and it's coming out. What we try to do is, if you request something, we want to get it as soon as possible, and usually print comes out way before an ebook will.
Yeah, just denote that you want it for your online students, and we'd be happy to purchase it for you.
And we're losing people, so we're almost done.
Question?
A quick question. So that if we fill out the form, that ebook is going to be available to the faculty and also to the students for free, or?
Yeah, it'll be on our website. It'll be cataloged into our website.
And one caveat about ebooks, though, because there are some restrictions. Like, if you're going to use an ebook for your course, consult with us, because sometimes the publisher will say just one person for 4 days can use the book, and then it's checked back in, and then the next person can get it. So if you're assigning an ebook that's from the library for your online class, talk with us. We can hopefully buy multiple copies of it, or actually increase the number of users per book. So before you add it to your syllabus, they just go to the library to get it. Contact Melissa and Sarah.
Yeah, we'll be able to designate that we need a more user license. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk about, the very last thing, is our Ask Us service. So we have this available. You can include this link on your courses, and this is really a one-stop shop to find everything about the library online. So this will be great for your students. There's basically 3 things. The first one is our FAQs, which is that box up there. So if they wanted to know what our hours were, or even something like, how do I access ProQuest? We have a lot of our typical answers logged into this page. So they'll be able to get a quick answer, how to do off-campus research, or how to create a bibliography. And that will be with that top button. On the side are all the ways that they can contact us. They can call our reference desk. They can text us. We get lots of text. It's hard to do reference on text, but sometimes that's what they want. Tweet. And then we also have our live chat. So Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, there is a librarian logged on here. She's a real person, or he's a real person. Let's go ahead and see who it is. Yeah, let's try. So this is a great way that students can have access to a librarian who maybe can't visit the library. So let's ask them a good question.
No, what question do you guys want to know?
What is the meaning of life is a good one. I wonder who's on.
I'll put my name. You don't have to put your name, but I will. We do get a lot of faculty questions through our chat service. And if I got this question, I'd be like, what?
We get some silly questions, and we also have a lot of people come on and just make sure that we're not a robot. Oh, it's Ava. She's our Asian Studies and Criminal Justice librarian. So yeah, we'll be happy to help. We can send screenshots. We can send PDFs. So this is a great resource for online students. They don't have to actually visit the library, and they can still have that one-on-one interaction with a librarian.
Can you see her response? She says hi.
And these questions are answered by our librarians here on this campus, also at the BBC campus.
Oh, everybody's in a hurry to get out of here, but guess what?
One more slide.
That's it. Okay. What questions do you have? Do you have any? I mean, you can ask any questions about our slides or things we showed you, or in general about the library services or library resources. You let us know, or you can go out the door.
Yes. The thing to note, we have our emails on that handout. If you wanted to work on some project together, maybe a class instruction, a LibGuide, a tutorial, we would be happy. We'd be like jumping through hoops for you. So just let us know, And we're here to do whatever it is that you need us to do. I mean, we're really a resource for you and also a resource for your students. So if you want to encourage them to come onto the live chat or to email us directly, please include our contact information. We're always getting questions from online students, and we'll be happy to help them.
And Shane will be in touch about the Wikipedia. Any other questions? Any questions? Well, thank you so much for staying.
Thank you so much, Sarah and Melissa. And also thank you, everyone, for coming out and participating in our fourth semi-annual Arts and Sciences Online Teaching Symposium. Just so you know, we will have a link available related to the presentation in about 2 weeks. As soon as we can get a recording, we will upload that to our website, which is cas.fiu.edu/online. We will upload that presentation for you. Dr. Gebeline had to leave early for a family emergency, but it's okay. And we just want you to know that we are available. We have a small team, myself, Chantel, Susan, and Dr. Gebeline. We're available to help you. We can offer suggestions as it relates to tools for online teaching. We can help you or provide you with training for making that transition from a face-to-face to an online class. So please give us a call. We will provide you with contact information for all of our presenters who presented today. So be on the lookout for that as well. Thank you. Sorry? Yeah, we will upload those to our website and we will send you guys an email letting you know that they're available for you to view. What we can do as well is just embed that link in the email so you will have direct access to the presentations that were done today. Thank you so much, everyone. It was a pleasure serving you and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Take care.